What's gonna be a problem?
Well, you see, because I don't have my screen capture on. Okay, wait, hold on. We have to. Hold on. I know how to fix this. I can fix this. Hold on a second. I made a mistake. I definitely made a mistake here.
5 minutes later.
Okay. All of that was a simple solution. Took me like 15 minutes to figure out.
We got there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Pigeon-Cast, where we definitely get everything right the first time. I'm your host, Eddie Sklenecki, and joining me today is Anthony, the owner of this Twitch channel.
It's so nice to be here with you all. I'm dead. Oh my god. Oh, I'm sweating. Hold on a minute. Oh my god.
Let him breathe.
Oh lordy. Okay. So, now I have to go do a somber thing. I'm laughing too hard.
Just think about the Guts theme, and then contemplate life for a couple minutes.
Oh, that sobered me up quick.
There you go. You're welcome.
I'm sorry. Okay, so for anyone who wasn't aware, today we lost Ace Frehley, who was the guitarist from Kiss. He died of a brain bleed. I don't know if this is an ongoing problem or something that just happened, but yeah. So from one of my favorite bands, we lost our first, well, actually our second member of the band, but our first founding member of Kiss. He will be missed and remembered. Rest in peace, Ace. So anyway, welcome to episode 2 of the Pigeon-Cast, your place for everything nostalgic. Before we start off with nostalgic news, I'd like to introduce my co-host, Eddie.
Hello there, everybody.
How you doing?
I'm doing very good, thank you.
Okay. So, besides our little mix-up earlier, what have you been up to lately, sir?
Let's see here. Not too much, just looking for a job right now. I had my baby nephew come and visit today, which I always like that. Just sometimes when I'm doing yard work, I don't need him around trying to help. But it's funny, man. Like, it's so hard to get him to eat anything, but like, this kid will put dirt in his mouth and he will munch on plants.
He munches on plants?
Yep. I cut a little piece of the hosta off the hosta plant just because I was trimming it down. Hand it to him, he munches on it.
I think those are poisonous, are they not?
Well, he didn't ingest it, so he should be fine.
Oh, okay. Good thing. Be sure you guys go give Eddie a follow over at NotYourMothersStreamer on Twitch. So when he starts streaming again, you guys can pop on in and check out his streams. As far as me, I've been busy editing. Been editing a lot of stuff. I just actually recorded a new YouTube video because I played a bunch of demos because it's Steam's Next Fest that's going on right now, and I love it when Steam's Next Fest comes around because I get to preview all the good games that are coming out. And I got to play the demo for Reanimal, which is the creators of Little Nightmares 1 and 2. That is their brand new project. Little Nightmares 3 is not a part of the original Little Nightmares universe. They sold the rights off to, I believe it's Bandai. I might be mistaken. But that company came out with Little Nightmares 3, and the crew that worked on Little Nightmares 1 and 2 went in and started Reanimal, which is a very similar gameplay style game, but it's very different. Has a very different feel to it. Still creepy. Still has the feel of Little Nightmares. It reminds a little bit of reminders of it, but the world is so much different. It was a very good game, very good demo. They knocked it out of the park again. So I can't wait for the full game to come out. And then I also played the demo for Opus Prism Peak, which is going to be a photography-based game that is a story type game. It has an anime style to it, very Miyazaki-like, just not as fantasy. A little more, slightly more grounded in reality. Not a whole lot, but slightly. And that demo completely blew me away. I recorded the gameplay footage, but I don't know what to do with it because I didn't really talk much through it. Within the first 3 minutes of playing the game, I was already crying. I'm like, this is so beautiful. It's going to be a phenomenal game, and I will be playing it over on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/acphoto13, if you guys want to come give me a follow over there. And if you guys want to go check me out over on the YouTube gaming page, it's acphoto13 Gaming. And I need to get started doing some more photography because I'm still running that deal over on acphoto13.com at the print shop. Input code PIGEONMILK at your checkout for 25% off your print order, and that'll go till the end of the year. So with that being said, with everything out of the way, I say we get into nostalgic news.
Today in nostalgic news.
Today in nostalgic history, in music. In 1974, the Rolling Stones released their 12th American studio album, It's Only Rock and Roll. In 1976, the novelty song Disco Duck by Rick Dees and his cast of idiots hit #1 on the Billboard charts.
I think I'm going to need to look this up now.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to, too. I'm going to do that right now, actually, just so we can give our viewers a little bit of a listen. All right. All right. What in the world was that? Just absolutely vibing.
My favorite part of that was the part where he said, "You got any grapes?"
Oh, God, no. Your balloon
I had to do that.
All right. So that was a thing. And that was a thing that was #1 on the Billboard charts in 1976. Now I'm kind of wondering what other songs are out in 1976 that couldn't beat Disco Duck. I'm being told by chat that was popular at the skating rinks. I know I've heard it before. I just have for obvious reasons, put it out of my memory. Okay, anyways, continuing away from Disco Duck. In 1986, Keith Richards of the Rolling Stones organized a star-studded 60th birthday tribute concert for rock and roll pioneer Chuck Berry in St. Louis. The event was filmed for the documentary Hail Hail Rock and Roll. I think because now this is the second time Chuck Berry has appeared on our Today in Nostalgic History, I need to watch this documentary. I need to find this documentary and watch it.
Good old Chuck.
Yeah, right? All right, 1990. George Michael releases single Freedom, featuring his iconic music video with supermodels. Kind of want to go watch this now, but maybe I'll leave it for later. Yeah, I think we're going to leave that for later, because that could cause a whole new set of problems for me on this channel.
We've already got Disco Duck. We don't need George Michael after us, too.
I wasn't thinking about George Michael. I was thinking about the supermodels. Yes. Because apparently it's an iconic music video with supermodels. Join me for the later show, AC After Dark.
Oh, boy.
Shwing! Anyway, in 1992, we like to have fun here. In 1982, Bob Dylan's 30th anniversary concert celebration took place at Madison Square Garden, featuring a wide range of guest artists, including Neil Young, who a Southern man doesn't need him around anyway, George Harrison from the Beatles, Eric Clapton, and Johnny Cash. I wonder if that was anywhere recorded or broadcasted. Because again, something I would like to check out. Even though I'm not the biggest Bob Dylan fan.
When did you say it was, again? What year?
1992.
There's a possibility somebody has a tape or something.
Well, I'm not looking for like an underground tape or something. I was just more or less wondering if it was broadcasted so I can like preview it or something like that. It's not that important. I'm not that huge of a Bob Dylan fan. I like his stuff. I'm just not super into all of his music. And in movies and TV, you guys, I put these down here because you guys might know what this is. I have no flipping clue. In 1990, the animated TV series They Came From Outer Space premiered.
No clue.
How about I look it up? They Came From Outer Animated. There we go. All I'm getting is a car flying in outer space with bikini models.
You would think it would have lasted longer. But then again, since it's a kid's cartoon, that's probably why it didn't last as long.
I'm not finding a cartoon. I'm only finding two teens in a car. What do you mean this was animated? This was not animated. And I don't know who these actors are. Yeah, but there's girls in bikinis. Once again, join me at AC After Hours for a viewing of this show. Also in 1990, the live-action game show Video Power premiered its second season. Anyone?
Nope.
Video Power? Oh my god, I think I remember this now.
Yeah, I think I do too.
It was a video game one. Oh my god, I do remember this. I think you had to like beat certain levels of video games, and then there was obstacle courses too.
Yeah, I know I've heard of it through.
Vaguely remembering this. Nick Arcade, I'm gonna go back and watch some of those episodes. See, this might be future content.
Yeah, for sure.
Because if it is what I'm thinking it is, I do remember a game show where you had to beat certain levels in certain games, or it within a certain amount of time. But that's very vaguely remembering this. Again, this is we're talking about I was what, 7? So memory not so good all the time. Well, that's all I have for movies and TV. Video games. 1980s Namco's classic arcade game Pac-Man debuted. So
good stuff.
Yeah, that was definitely a classic. Is it weird that I always had an easier time playing Miss Pac-Man instead? And I don't know why they're the exact same game, but for some reason the bow on her head just kind of made the game easier.
I think it's because it went a little bit faster than the other original Pac-Man from what I remember.
Did it? Because if it was faster, I think I'd have more of a problem with it. I'm not a fast person.
I mean, like, I think Miss Pac-Man moved faster.
Oh.
Because I know it was definitely an upgrade to the original Pac-Man.
Oh, I'm thinking back to his Wayne's World. What is the difference between Pac-Man and Mrs. Pac-Man, really? Well, she has a bow in her head. That's it? Yeah? Get right out of town. Okay. So, also in 1990, several games were released for the NES, including Gremlins 2, The New Batch, and A Nightmare on Elm Street. I never played A Nightmare on Elm Street, and I never played I might have played the Gremlins game, but not A Nightmare on Elm Street. Actually, the only serial killer slasher video game that I remember playing was Friday the 13th. Balloon, you played Nightmare? Yeah, I don't remember that one.
Don't look at me. We're a Christian household. We play Pac-Man.
There's no room for those devilish horror games here. Begone, Satan! All right, let me see if I can find... Okay. All right, so this looks very similar to... Yeah, this looks a little similar to Friday the 13th. Yeah, I can totally see why I never played this. I don't think it would have lasted very long. Hello, Shamu. Oh my god. Okay, so those two games came out, and then in 1990, The Secret of Monkey Island was released for Amiga, Atari ST, and MS-DOS. Do you remember Monkey Island?
I remember you streaming it.
You never got to play Monkey Island?
Nope, never played it.
Oh wow.
It looks good though.
It is good.
I played games like it, like the humongous entertainment games like Spy Fox, like you know.
Oh my god. I have never seen a game. I went over to Nick's house and Nick was playing that. And I'm like, what the hell are you playing? He goes, Eddie gave me this, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay. And he's playing it, and the puns. The horrible writing and the puns. Ah! Oh.
You gotta love it.
No, you don't. My brain was going to explode. I can see why you liked it. I was like, oh, yep, I can see why Eddie likes this. Automatically, this is totally an Eddie game. Oy vey. Yeah, Eddie, you should stream Spy Fox or whatever it was called.
I know I did start with, let's see, I did Fatty Bear. I did some Freddy Fish.
Wait.
Uh-huh.
Fatty Bear?
Oh, yeah. Fatty Bear's
what
birthday surprise.
I'm afraid to ask this, but what is Fatty Bear and what was her birthday surprise?
No. Yeah, it's Fatty, Fatty. And basically it was a toy teddy bear, and he was getting pretty much a surprise birthday party set up for his kid, I guess, and getting like balloons, making a cake. You like do a point and click adventure and do all that, and then they have like a little bowling mini game that you can play as well.
So why is he called Fatty Bear?
Well, because he's vertically challenged.
That'd be short.
Okay, horizontally challenged.
I don't know what you. So he had a gut.
Because he's fat. Yeah.
Okay, I thought Fatty Bear was a girl for a moment. Okay, that's fair enough. The last thing I have on the list is from 1990. Several games were released for the Sega Genesis, including Whip Rush and Thunder Force 3. I didn't have a Sega.
No idea that.
Yeah, I didn't have a Sega.
Yeah, I had a emulator and had a whole bunch of games on that, but those do not sound familiar at all.
No. Anyway, all right, well, that's all we have for nostalgia news. Now we get to the snack of the stream, or I should say snack of the episode. And this is something I know that a few of you are going to really, really appreciate, but we have for you Shark Bites, the fruit snack adventure.
Looks familiar.
So it was amazing because each different type of shark was a different color fruit snack. So the great white shark was actually a white fruit snack, and it was the best one out of all of them. I don't care what anyone says. You can fight me if you want to in the comments down below, but the white one was the best. And apparently they had a tiger shark fruit snack, which I don't know if I recall. But another thing about this fruit snack that I found, and it took me this photo to remember it. Remember how in the last episode I was talking about how we used to have toys and prizes that came with our food? Well, Shark Bites was no different because for a limited time, they had glow-in-the-dark sharks that came in your fruit snack box.
Nice.
And these were all the different ones. I had the green one right here.
Hopefully it came inside the box and not with the actual snacks, because that could be problematic.
Yeah, no, it came within the box, not inside the fruit snacks, but I had the green one. I remember, and it was these actually glowed a lot. These were very bright. So, yep. So, yeah, that was, and we have the picture of all of the fruit snacks right here on a table. And I guess, again, the white ones were the best ones. And they were really cool, too, because they came in different shapes. And I think the shapes did change over the years, like because I think they eventually went to these flat ones here. But they, I believe, used to be 3D sharks, if I'm not mistaken. Because I do remember the hammerheads being a different shape than everything else was. But yeah, that's our snack of the episode is Shark Bites. Fondly remember those. I wonder if we can still get them somewhere. eBay has a bunch of those for sale. The fruit snacks or the sharks that glow in the dark. I'm sure if I looked hard enough, I can find that shark too. Oh, the glow sharks? Okay.
Yeah, I gotta say, never have I ever wanted to clog myself more with gelatin than right at this moment.
Right? They were really good. Definitely one of my favorite fruit snacks that we got. So, all right. Our main topic for this evening is we're going to take you guys on a little bit of a journey through our top 5 nostalgic animes. So Eddie made up a list of his top 5 nostalgic animes, and I made up a list of my top 5 nostalgic animes, which was a little bit more difficult, I must say, because in my time, anime was rare. How rare, you might ask? Very rare. So rare to the point they actually imported Japanese cartoons and turned them into American cartoons. Well, if you've never seen an anime, you might think you've never seen an anime, but you have. You have, and I will prove it to you right now, because the first anime that I have on my list is a little show that I watched when I was a kid called Tranzor Z. All right, so Tranzor Z is a name given to the adaptation of the Japanese anime Mazinger Z. For the sake of the show, we're going to stick to the American version that aired in the early 1980s. So the plot follows teenager Tommy Davis as he pilots the giant robot Tranzor Z to fight the evil scientist Dr. Demon, which I believe his name was Dr. Devil or something like that in the Japanese version. But we're not worried about the Japanese version right now. And his army of mechanical monsters. The story is a battle to stop the mad scientist's world domination plans. So what I really liked about this anime was it was a cool giant monster fighting robot. It really doesn't go more deep than that. The guy had rocket fists, laser eyes, and there was even a female robot that had rocket boobs. Rocket boobs.
This was the show called Bazinga Z.
Mazinger Z.
No, Bazinga.
No, not Bazinga.
Bazinga.
She had Bazingas.
Exactly.
And literally, yeah. So literally rocket boobs. And even as a kid, I was like, something's wrong with that. I don't know exactly what at this exact moment, but something is wrong with that. So these are just a few more shots of Transor Z. Again, awesome giant fighting robot that fought robotic monsters. And there's her booby nipple shoot.
Fire the boob nipple gun.
I just can't. The funny thing was, I had completely forgotten about this. I had completely forgotten about all of this until I was at an anime convention and I saw a DVD of a movie and it said Mazinger Z. And I'm like, wait a minute, that robot looks familiar. And I'm like, this is Transor Z. And so I picked it up, watched it, and then they showed the female robot, and I was like, wait a minute, something's coming back to me. And yep, she fired rocket boobs. And I'm always a big fan of like just weird off the wall monster designs, even if they are robotic. I thought that was kind of cool. So that was one of my first animes that I watched. I didn't even know it was an anime. And they definitely changed the script around a little bit. They kept the main plotline the same, but they changed up. They took out a bunch of stuff because I guess the original anime was very, very violent. And so they had to remove a bunch of different stuff of like cities being destroyed, torture, other things. But for some reason, they kept the booby rockets in. Violence? No. Booby rockets? Yes. So it's okay for us to depict a female robot that can fire rockets from her nipples, but a city being destroyed is absolutely out of the question. That is too far. They did have toys too as well. I don't know if they shot nipple boobies. I never had any of the toys. Now I kind of want to go search for them. I'll do that later. Once again, AC After Dark. Join me where we will go on this deep dive. Oh, God. All right. I think it's time for A to go with one of his animes.
Well, I think this was like the first anime movie that I've watched. My brother was telling me it was the first one he showed me. Although, I think probably I have seen Pokemon the movie first, so there's that. So I guess it's maybe my second anime movie. But this is like a feature-length film where it starts off with this girl wants to get a boyfriend for her ailing grandmother to meet before she dies. So she picks this random computer nerd and takes him to the Japanese countryside where their family is at for a gathering. And it's a pretty diverse family with a bunch of kids running around. Kind of makes me think of my own family gatherings. I've got a whole bunch of nieces and nephews / cousins. My family tree's a little bit crazy, but yeah, I've got about like 14 nieces and nephews.
You have more than more. You have more than 14, considering that I think you remember. I remember you telling me.
Yeah, it's probably more like
one sister had 12 or 13 children.
Yeah, it's probably more like 17 at least.
Jesus.
I mean, not with her per se. I'm just saying total.
Eddies are going to take over the world. Go on.
The main plot happens when a computer virus infects the main hero's avatar, and it's up to him and the family pretty much to take it out. It's pretty much a film about family, no matter what kind you are, and learning to get along with them, forgiving them when they mess up, grieving with them, and being there for support when you need them. And believe me, they go through all the steps. There's one scene where they need a power source for a supercomputer, and since they're in the middle of nowhere, it's hard to come by. But one of the guys owns a fishing rig, and he has them tow it all the way over there and puts it into a nearby pond.
So, what's the name of this one?
Summer Wars.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
Just more so a clarification. The granddaughter is looking for a boyfriend for herself or her grandmother?
Herself.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just sort of, it's like she wanted to introduce him to her grandmother just so it would be like, hey, I got a boyfriend now. You don't have to worry about me. I'm all good. You get to meet him.
Right. Okay, so it's called Summer Wars, and she's looking for a boyfriend for herself so the grandmother knows she's taken care of. Okay. Because for a second there, I thought you were talking about that the granddaughter was looking for a boyfriend for the grandmother before she died. And I'm like, Join me after hours on AC Photo After Dark.
Wait, got a little bit of everything for everybody.
So
Yeah.
where does this take place?
Like pretty much, I would say, kind of like modern day Japan, if they had a kind of a web where you could interact with everyone through an avatar, which you can kind of do now, but it's not as advanced. I think the best thing we've got is like AI chat or something like that.
Okay, so she's looking on the web where you can communicate with different people through different avatars.
Oh no, she knows him in real life.
Okay, yeah, that part got really confusing.
Yeah, the movie kind of takes, but it goes in between the digital world and the real world a lot. Mostly in the real, but all the action stuff happened. Well, I won't say all the action stuff, but a majority of the action stuff happens in the digital world.
Okay, all right, that makes a little bit more sense. And when did this anime come out?
I did not have that written down, but it was like somewhere around, I think, the early 2000s, like,
Okay.
because I watched it before I came to Carson's, lent it to Debbie to see what she thought of it, and she thought it was okay. I was devastated because it's like, oh my gosh, it was like one of the freaking best anime movies ever, but looking back on it, it's like, yeah, actually, now that I think about it, I think if it's like your first experience of it, it is just, it's a good movie. Yep, there you are.
Yeah, I should have asked you to
Funny guy.
Yeah, I should have asked you to give me some pictures of it.
Yeah.
Okay, this looks like something I might watch.
Oh yeah, it's very good. The visuals for the digital world are very colorful. And it has like one of the best smites for the final villain ever.
And there's a rabbit, and then there's little chipmunks with little acorns.
Yeah. The rabbit is King Kazuma, who is one of the kids in the family, really good at fighting games, so he does fighting tournaments in the digital world.
Okay, yeah, this is definitely a little bit. I've heard the name. I definitely heard the name before, and I think that's because I've seen someone cosplay at least one of these characters.
For sure, King Kazuma you have seen, because I definitely have pointed stuff out to you if I've seen it.
Okay.
But yeah, just a really good movie, like the family influence on it, and just, yeah, good show. Go watch it. Or movie, watch it. You want to go to your next one?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to check that out. Yeah. All right. So, now I know that a few people, especially if you're older, you've definitely seen Voltron. And Voltron, again, was a Japanese anime that the American studios brought over. It was originally called Go Lion. Now, the funny thing about the Voltron story is when the studio asked Japan, they had 3 different animes that they wanted. And the third one, they basically didn't know the name of it. They just said, we want the one with the lions. Well, there was 2 different ones that had lion robots in them. And the one we got was not the one that they had originally intended for. So Voltron was a complete mistake, and they started off with that Voltron as the series. And so for what I have written here, we're going to stick with the American broadcast version. So basically the plot is 5 space explorers, Keith, Hunk, Lance, Pidge, and Sven, land on the war-torn planet Eris. They are captured by King Zarkon and are taken to planet Doom. I think you just could have cut them off at the pass and just taken them straight to planet Doom and, not have them go back and forth, but whatever, it's fine. They escape back to planet Eris and happen upon an old castle. Inside the old castle, they meet a Princess Allura and her royal advisor, Karan. The space explorers are now on a mission to reactivate Voltron to help defeat King Zarkon and his forces. They find all 5 different lions, learn how to assemble Voltron, and become the hero of the planet. The story goes on, introducing a different row beast every episode for Voltron to fight and defeat. Okay, and I liked it again because giant robot fighting giant monsters. This is, again, me as a kid, and even me now, I can't get enough of it. But this one I remember slightly better than the last one. Voltron had some really funny humor that came from Allura's pet mice that would get into all kinds of shenanigans. Then you had Nanny, who was Allura's caretaker, and she was always so uptight and so easily excited by the antics of the Voltron force and her constant worry for Allura. The mice would ruffle her feathers from time to time as well. And then you had Hunk's clumsiness, Pidge's childlike attitude, and Lance's devil-may-care attitude. Lance was by far my favorite character, just because he was that cool, cocky, laid-back sort of guy, and all of which added a nice balance of amusement and funny moments. And then, of course, the show had the ultimate villain, not King Zarkon, but his son, Prince Lotor. I think this was my first experience of being a fan of a villain. Prince Lotor was young and ambitious, and he was very arrogant, which was often the cause of his downfall. He was loyal to his father and hoped to take his place one day, but I enjoyed how they didn't go much into the prince trying to overthrow the king's trope. So he didn't do a lot of things that would overthrow the king. If Lothar did anything to undermine the king, it was going over his father's head and making plans for domination without his approval. Mostly because he felt like he knew better. Of course, this would fail. The king would get mad and Lothar would be scolded. So he was cocky, arrogant, smug, evil, but he just did it in the most fun way possible. One of his greatest and by far the most amusing aspect of him was his delusional obsession over Princess Allura. This guy was so head over heels for her, and he didn't hide it. Half the time, his plots involved ways to make her his bride. I think he truly did care for her because there were several scenes in the show where he would show legit concern for her well-being and condition. Well, as much as an evil prince could, at least. Just the way his tone would change when he would talk about her or to her, knowing that she would never love him back. The way he portrayed it was just so funny. Another thing was the roe beast, aka the giant monsters of the show, were always interesting looking, and some were even a little scary. They were all created by Hagar and her magic. Hagar was the king's witch, and she always created some really awesome giant monsters. My only issue with this plan was, even as a little kid, thinking, why not just send several monsters at once instead of one at a time? What if you had 10? No? One at a time? Okay, keep losing then. The closest that they ever came to winning was when Hagar sent this guy to infiltrate the castle. He looked just like a regular human and was there to court the princess. Lance could easily see through this guy, but of course everyone thought he was overreacting and just being jealous. Then weird things started happening in the castle. Suddenly Cobra started slithering through the vents at night, attempting to take Lance and the rest of the Voltron force out. Eventually it's discovered that the snakes are coming from their new visitor, and it's then he reveals his true form. Yep, he was a roe beast the whole time, a giant cobra snake man. That had to be my favorite episode, or at least the one that sticks so closely in my mind all these years later. This is a picture of Prince Lotor with Princess Allura.
They make a cute couple.
I love this guy. I don't know what it was, but he was just so cool. Like, I didn't like bad guys when I was a kid at all. He was such a jerk, but it was so funny watching him be a jerk, and it was so funny watching him fail.
Yeah, I know, like, when you heard that he was being introduced in the new show, you were like, oh!
Yeah, they did. They actually did a very good job of Lotor in the new show, too. Unfortunately, the new show wasn't that great, and there was no roe beasts, and why did they even have Voltron in the first place? But sure, why not? Because that was a thing. There's King Zarkon, which I have to ask the question. He's the king, and he had Prince Lotor. Who's Prince Lotor's mother?
Because he definitely takes after his mother.
See, here's the thing. Like, like when they don't. And here's the whole Voltron Force. There's Sven, who is the. Now, here was another thing that used to bother me about the Voltron Force. You had Keith, who was the leader, and he's in the Black Lion, but he's in the red outfit. Sven was in the Blue Lion originally, and he's in the black outfit. Lance is in the Red Lion, and he's in the blue outfit. Meanwhile, Pidge and Hunk are in the green and yellow line, respectively, wearing proper colors. Why?
For them.
Why? Someone explain this to me. Why were they in the wrong colored lions? Why? And then when Princess Allura became the pilot of the Blue Lion, because eventually, within the first few episodes, Sven gets injured, quote unquote, and taken to the hospital planet. Translation: he died. But they're like, no, that's too brooding for kids. We can't have that. But we can have robot boobies. Hunk, not chunk. It's still no. It's yellow. It's yellow. It's yellow. It's yellow. In this picture, it looks a little bit more orange, but it's yellow. And at least it's closer than the other ones. Yeah, and eventually, Allura becomes the pilot of the Blue Lion, and she's wearing pink.
Well, what other color can a girl wear in a show?
Well, I mean, I guess that makes sense. She could have worn a baby blue. Nothing wrong with that. A girl does not have to wear pink. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's true too. But
they all can't be April O'Neil.
Yeah, and you know what? She was actually kind of a badass at times. Yeah. So that was definitely this is definitely one of my favorite shows. I still love it to this day. Although any of the other incarnations I didn't really watch because they didn't do nearly as well of a job, I thought. Yeah, and plus look at that. He's got like a fucking battle axe for a helmet. How badass is this guy? The long white
Pretty
hair.
cool.
His voice actor, I don't remember who did it, but his voice actor, spot on, like so good. I just love this character. I just loved him as a villain. He was so good. And another fun fact about the Voltron animated show is that Optimus Prime introduces the Voltron Force.
Huh.
Hold on.
Is he the narrator?
Yes, and he is also a character in the show. Hold on. I shall play it.
From days of long ago, from uncharted regions of the universe, comes a legend. The legend of Voltron.
One shall stand, one shall fall.
The Galaxy Alliance was formed. Together.
See, where was the giant road beast in the new version? I get to see Optimus Prime in the corner narrating this.
There definitely has to be some sort of crossover with these guys. It's just too similar.
Actually, no, there was
Nah.
never. There was never a crossover with Voltron and Transformers. There was.
That seems like a shame.
I would agree with you, but unfortunately, that's just not the way it went. There was a crossover with Transformers and G.I. Joe because I think they were the same company that produced them.
Mm-hmm.
But that was about it. All right.
Okay, you sold me on it.
All right, now we fire it back to you
Sure thing.
for your next one.
Yeah. Full Metal Alchemist.
Ooh.
Full Metal Alchemist. The original one, not Brotherhood. I kind of got you there. Did a little bit of a fake out with the Full Metal Alchemist doing it twice.
I never
But,
saw
like-
Brotherhood.
Yeah. While it ends differently from the manga, I think it's kind of unfair to toss the whole show because of that, though. Unlike the newer anime, I felt like the older one had a bit of a slower pace and it kind of took its time to kind of develop the characters. And the animation, like, I don't know if you have the same opinion, but like sometimes like with older shows, I kind of like how it looks a little bit more grittier with the actual look of the anime characters.
Yes.
Whereas the new stuff just looks like a little bit too crisp.
Yes.
I knew you would do this to me. And I will go over that for sure. For our audio listeners, he has put up a picture of Nina, and yeah. If you know, you know. If you don't, go watch Full Metal Alchemist and be traumatized almost as much as I am.
Hey, I'm not saying that I wasn't traumatized, but it's the fact that it's the reaction that everyone else gives that's the amusing part.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just an evil bastard, so that is like my favorite meme of all time. Anyways,
Right.
go on.
Yeah, so for people that just aren't familiar with it, I'll just give a quick synopsis of it. Two young boys lose their mother and turn to the dark arts of alchemy, left conveniently by their father in his study, and try to resurrect their mother. But it goes horribly wrong because you should not try to resurrect the dead.
Yeah, it'll cost you an
And,
arm and a leg.
Oh my gosh. Literally, for Edward Elric and all of Alphonse Elric, Edward's younger brother, and he only lost that much because Ed had to bind Alphonse's soul to a suit of armor that was nearby conveniently. And yeah, pretty much their main goal is to get Al's body back because they learned their lesson.
Yep. There was So with his soul being trapped inside the suit of armor, there's a scene. I don't remember who it was, but one of there's a character that hides inside of the armor, and then that guy comes up behind Alphonse and stabs him, and then you can see the blood coming out of the armor. Oh,
yeah,
like
that was pretty brutal.
Oh my god, there's some stuff later on in that anime that it's just so disturbing. It's so good though.
For
Definitely
sure.
one of my favorite animes. Like it's gotta be in my top 10 at least.
Yeah. So in a lot of people's top 10 because it's the top 10 of my anime list, the top anime until this new show called Frieren came out.
So do me a favor. Explain to me what the difference between the original Full Metal Alchemist and Brotherhood is.
So pretty much the difference is that like a lot of the older anime, it caught up with the story and they needed to make up an ending for it. And it kind of got really weird. I know it kind of goes into, I think, an alternate timeline somehow, like some sort of World War type deal going on, but it kind of fell apart near the end because of that reason.
I didn't feel when I watched the original, I mean, maybe it's because I didn't know there was a different ending, but I didn't feel like the anime fell apart.
Yeah, it kind of just got weird at the end, and I don't think I've watched all the anime because it was kind of a thing like I watched with my brother and sister, and like I think for some reason I just missed the end of it, but like I saw enough of it where I was like, what's going on? But I think I will go watch it again just because I really did enjoy it, and I want to say that I have finished it.
Now, was the manga all done when the first anime was made, or was it?
No, it was not. Like I said, it caught up to the anime, the manga story, so they had to make their own.
Oh, so it did kind of the same thing that Fruits Basket did.
Yeah, and
okay.
Helsing.
You know, and I don't know. I maybe it's just me. I have no want to go watch the new episodes of these animes that I already watched the originals of because I thought the originals were fine.
Yeah, I kind of have the same feeling about the new Trigun. Like, I hear it's really good. I've heard the praises of it from people who are kind of in that field of reviewing it, and the actual director, they got him on and talked about it, and I'm like, yeah, it sounds pretty good. It's just I haven't felt the urge to watch it yet.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I have the originals. I really don't want to go back and watch the new ones. It doesn't, something doesn't, I don't know. I like the way they ended. Except Fruits Basket, I probably would go back and watch more because that one kind of ended, like, wait, what? And they lived happily ever after, the end. Okay, that was weird.
Yeah, getting back to why I like it so much is probably because I kind of identify with Edward Elric a lot. For starters, we have the same first name. We're both the older brother of a taller younger brother, and both have a somewhat short temper. But what I like about Edward is that he's human, and he's painfully aware of that fact at times. His mechanical limbs and his brother are a testament to the day he tried to break the rules of alchemy and paid for it. But despite the setbacks, Ed doesn't give up, and he tries his best to protect those he cares about. But other than Ed, there's like a whole bunch of great characters, like Maze Hughes, who I hope I'm as good of a dad as him, like, if I ever become a dad.
He was in the military thing, right?
Yeah, he was the one who had all the pictures of his daughter and would show it to everyone all the time.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Doesn't he die at one point? Or am I...
Spoilers, dude.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, guys. My bad.
Their fault for not watching one of the top-rated anime of all time.
Yeah, it's how many years old by now? I think we've gotten I think spoilers are off the table at this point.
Right. I'm saying though.
Yeah.
Anywho, yeah, you've got also characters like Louis Armstrong, who I dare say is the pinnacle of positive masculinity.
I remember him.
Yeah. Scar, the anti-hero and protector of the Ishvalans, using the power from his dead brother's arm to right the wrongs of the alchemy and Amestris, which is, like, different from, like, the other alchemy. I'm forgetting the name of the country, but it's a country in the east where, well, I guess I shouldn't go into that due to spoilers, but, you know,
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think I can really pick a single episode of Full Metal as like a favorite, but I can tell you I'm super miffed about all the Nina jokes I have to hear about that. Yeah, and you even pulled it up. I didn't even have to cue you into it. You're just going, oh, he's talking about his favorite episode. I'm going to pull that up. But yeah, overall, I think the anime was great up until the end. But like, I think I would say like maybe start with that instead of Brotherhood. But like all around experience, probably the manga is like the best way to go. But I just really liked all of it, and just it's a really good story. I highly recommend it if you haven't.
I would double on that one. If you guys have not seen Full Metal Alchemist, I highly recommend watching it. It is a fantastic anime. Even though I'm making a lot of bad jokes, that's only because it's my way of dealing with the pain and disturbing nature of what those episodes had in them. So sometimes you just gotta laugh a little bit. And I have a very dark sense of humor. And apparently so does everyone else that watches that anime, because we found a community with each other of disturbing the other half of the community who does not have the dark sense of humor. And that's probably my favorite thing about that anime is the community around it. Either you're in the Nina camp or you're not.
Oh my gosh. I mean, maybe I could find it funny if my name literally wasn't Edward.
That person, Edward. Big Brother Ed.
Yeah, I mean, I would get kind of creeped out if there was a creepy dog calling my name too. But all jokes aside, the first time seeing that scene was probably the most heart-stopping moment in an anime I have ever witnessed. It was intense as hell. It's like, yeah, the memes are out there and all that stuff, but dear God, was that scene disturbing. I'm sure if I go back and watch it, I'm not going to be laughing. I'm just going to be like, oh.
Yeah, and it's because the anime took time to, like, you would get to know the Tucker family, and you see Ed and Al playing with Nina and the dog. The newer anime, it's a little bit more rushed, so you don't get quite as much of the messed up feeling.
Now that's disappointing, because that helps establish like what this world is. It helps establish the people in this world that's seen. Some of these people are this messed up. Like they have this technology, power, magic, whatever you want to call it, and they do stuff like that with it.
And all to get their research grant.
Yes, and that's something I think needs to be in. You need to take your time with that. So if the other one just rushed right through it, see, this is why I said, like, when people are like, you got to watch Brotherhood, it's so much better. I'm like, I don't know if I really need to, because the original did such a good job. Yeah, the ending's a little bit more messed up, but if all you're going to do is show me a better ending, you kind of got to do a little bit more than that.
Brotherhood is good, for sure.
Yeah.
And it's probably like the better way to get the experience of the full story in an anime form. If you don't want to watch the first one, you don't have to. I just feel like you're missing out on a really good anime is all.
Okay. All right. So I guess we're on back to me.
Yep.
All right. Well, my next anime is Dragon Ball Z, but I have reasoning behind this.
Yeah, I definitely, when you told me Dragon Ball Z, I was like, this is interesting. I did not think this would be on his list, but here we are.
Well, we did say nostalgic anime, and this one does have a spot of nostalgia for me as to why I put it on this list. So it's not because it came here in the 80s. Let me explain. Okay, here's my little bit on this here. All right, so the plot of Dragon Ball Z is a very complex one, but as simple as I can make it: alien dude sent to Earth as a baby, adopted by a human, and becomes the savior of Earth. Well, all right, when I word it like that, it almost sounds like Superman. And truly, it is not. It does have that small bit of a plot similarity, but it's nothing like Superman. So basically, you've got Goku, who's a super strong fighter, his wife Chi-Chi, who's a super strong fighter, or was until she became a mother to their son Gohan, whom already knows how to fight and is super strong at his very young age. Later, he is trained by Piccolo, who is an alien from the planet Namek, and was once Goku's archenemy, but now he's more of a frenemy, and later on becomes his best buddies. Then there's the side characters who are all great fighters and superhuman to normal Earth people, but fail in comparison to Goku, or Piccolo, or anyone not from Earth. These include Krillin, who is Goku's short and bald childhood best friend, Yamcha, who is pretty much the anime version of Kenny from South Park, given how much he gets killed, Tien, the three-eyed bald man, and his tiny Pokemon-like companion, Chaozu. Are you keeping up with it so far? No? Good, because I didn't either when I first watched this show. Believe me, if you tell me that you don't like this show, I can completely understand why. Because 30 seconds of hearing someone try to unravel the convoluted plot will twist your brain in ways you didn't think possible. So why is it on this list, you might be asking yourself? Well, when I first saw DBZ, I was about 15 years old. I dropped by my friend's house after school, and that show would be on, and naturally he was glued to it. So that's what we'd watch. I really didn't understand what was going on in the anime besides some dude in orange and some alien guy were throwing punches and kicks at lightning speed over and over and over again. Alien guy would then reveal that this is only his third most powerful form, then change his appearance slightly, somehow making him more stronger. Next episode, more of the same, except now alien dude reveals it's his second most powerful form. Wow, they're really dragging this out. I just go for my most powerful form, wipe the floor with Carrot Man, and call it a day. This is, of course, what is called the Frieza Saga, and it truly wasn't grabbing me and making me want to watch more. But once I was given the time to sit down and watch these characters when they weren't battling constantly, I started to get invested in them. Goku was a classic goof who didn't take much seriously, but would sacrifice everything to save his friends in the world. So by the time the series got to the next big bad character, the Cell Saga, I had grown to know enough about the characters and the world to really enjoy the series. And then I went back to watch the older episodes and catch up on what I had missed. All in all, I really enjoyed all of it. It was humorous, but still had awesome action. I will admit I didn't get extremely deep into the series, as at certain points I just stopped watching, mostly due to not having access to the new episodes, but it's still something I'm able to put on and enjoy watching. Not to mention the abridged fan series by Team 4-Star is to this day one of the most amusing things I've ever seen on this planet. And honestly, if someone was to say, I don't want to really watch Dragon Ball Z or blah, 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 I would just show them the abridged version because it still follows the story. It still gives you the information about the characters, but it's just funnier and more amusing all around.
Now, if somebody told me that they don't want to watch Dragon Ball Z, I would say, okay, watch Dragon Ball, and that should get them into the series. Like, you have a little bit more of a story to start out with. I think it did kind of get a little bit long during the Red Ribbon Army arc, but, like, the basic premise of the show, which was to find the Dragon Balls to make a wish, was a pretty good start to the anime, and you had all these interesting characters like Goku. He's just like a little kid at that point. And then Bulma, like pretty much the daughter of this rich scientist. And yeah, them going on an adventure to find the Dragon Balls.
Yeah, Master Roshi, who had what's her face? The one gal,
Launch?
No. The Bulma.
Yeah, Bulma.
Yeah, Bulma.
Yeah.
Bulma.
Bulma. Goku found out what girls were the hard way.
Join me at AC After Dark, where we will explore Bulma. Oh my god.
Yeah, like Goku literally said, because he couldn't like figure out the difference between men and women, and Krillin's like asking him how he tells them apart. It's like, usually I have to touch him to figure it out. And then right after that, Krillin's like, I'm a boy, just in case you didn't know.
Oh god.
And then later when he's taking a whiz, Goku's like, oh, you really are a boy. But yeah, it's just funny because Goku's so innocent because he just doesn't know any better.
Yeah, he's such a loof. It's great. But I did like the movies though. Like when I got into college, my buddy showed me Cooler movie and a few others. And the thing about those movies was they had our music in them. Like it had Disturbed, it had Linkin Park. It had a bunch of those songs in them, so it was cool to watch them fighting to like Stupefy or One Step Closer and all that shit. It was so amazing.
Yeah, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, now I want to go back and watch those. Yeah, it's the Cooler Saga or the Cooler movie, and I can't. There's one where it's what's his name?
Broly.
Not that one. I some of them don't have them, but I think it's another Namek character. Yeah, it's like a Namekian. And I can't remember. I don't think I have that one. I know I have the Cooler Saga. So yeah, that was Dragon Ball Z for me.
All right.
Your turn.
Okay. Now, this is the big one. And honestly, I wasn't going to put it on here for the reason being that it is so long and it is hard to watch. And just there's so many, like, good anime out there. Like, now, it's not on my list, but I'm just mentioning it. You got Death Note, Cowboy Bebop, even, like, the original Pokemon. But really, I don't think anything comes close to One Piece.
Ooh.
And, like, it was really, really hard for me to pick this because there's also Naruto, which was another big three shonen anime that was out. But I felt like it was wrong. But I'm, like, thinking about it, and I'm like, I watched One Piece when it came out on 4Kids, and that got me into the manga, which got me into watching the anime again. There's been, like, very few anime like that have captured the depth of emotion and wonder that One Piece has, and there's various reasons for this depth. I want to start off with the music, and it definitely plays a huge part in it. It's very whimsical and adventurous, and then they have tracks ranging from goofy antics, readying for battle, danger, and complete awe. And if you watch it on Fox Kids, you got to hear the absolute bop of the One Piece rap, which, even though from clips I've seen of them butchering the anime, the theme song still slaps. Then you've got the story. It's kind of simple at first. Rubber Boy wants to become king of the pirates. He gathers a crew to do so. But as the story went along and the popularity of the manga increased, Oda was allowed to more fully flesh out that world, tackling a lot of relevant topics like slavery, bigotry, the censorship of history, pollution, the medical industry. The list goes on and on, so it appeals to a wide demographic of people.
Wow.
Yeah, and the characters do as well. You've got Luffy, an individual with boundless energy and positivity, who just doesn't get why people don't see their full potential or why they let other people determine their life. And the reason I think Luffy is such a strong character is because not only does he help save people, he empowers them to fight back and to start living their dreams. You've also got characters like Zoro, one of the most loyal crew members in anime history. Like, literally, there's this one episode where Luffy has just gotten the crap knocked out of him, and a warlord of the sea comes to bring him in. And Zoro goes up to stop him, and he's like, the warlord says, okay, I will let him go and just say, he was not here, and I did nothing to do anything with this, but you have to take on all of his pain. And he has a power that allows him to do that. And Zoro, because he's loyal, he accepts. And all of the pain and attacks that Luffy took from that past battle, just, man, it just, like, rips through his body. And then later, everybody wakes up, and Sanji is like, what happened to you? And Zoro's just standing there, and he's just like, nothing happened. And that's how you know he's just like a real Chad. He just, he did what he did for his captain because he believes in his captain and his dream. For people in the audio podcast, I'm sorry that you won't be able to see this. You'll have to check out our YouTube channel, but Anthony's showing a picture of me cosplaying as Luffy. He was one of my first cosplays, and I'm next to Chopper, the doctor of the crew, which I will get into just right now since he's up on the screen. He's kind of a timid scaredy cat at first, but meeting Luffy really brought out the confidence to assert his medical know-how and fight for his friends. You've got Nami, the most responsible member of the whole crew, which is saying something because they all cause a lot of chaos, who took on working for her foster mother's murderer to keep her town safe. You got Sanji, a chivalrous, if somewhat perverted character, and Usopp, who starts off as a big fibber, but gradually he gets more serious and makes good on his boasts. Now, I could go on and on, but we don't have time for that. We've been, whew. But yeah, I think it's for these reasons why it resonates with so many people. Heck, I don't know if you've seen the news, Anthony, but like Nepal and Madagascar had revolutions where they raised the Straw Hat Jolly Roger as their symbol.
I did see that, actually.
One of the military groups in Madagascar, there was like a top-notch one. They like got in on the action and rallied behind it.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna have to give the anime a sit-down watch because I know several people that really love this anime, and I guess I was always intimidated by the length of it and how many episodes there are. I'm like, I don't want to watch all that. That's a lot.
It is a great undertaking, and honestly, I don't recommend watching the anime. I recommend reading the manga because although it does have a whole lot of manga as well, I think it's like up in the 90s, if not 100 at this point.
Oh my god.
It's a lot easier to digest at your own time, but at the same time, there's just so much that when you're watching the anime that you just don't get from the manga, and that's just being able to let the moment of the story set in and just listening to the music, and it gets you. I'll go to like my favorite part of the anime or favorite episode of the anime. Well, I don't know if it's my favorite episode, but definitely I think it's one of the most profound moments from the anime that just like, this is why One Piece is so great.
Okay.
And it's during the Enies Lobby arc where Robin is being led to her execution in exchange for the Straw Hat's freedom for the crime of wanting to uncover the world's missing history. Now, Luffy at this point has gone all out with help from the people of Water 7, but there is a moment where they all squat up on the rooftops facing each other, and Luffy asks Robin if this is really how she wants it to be, to walk away from the crew and to accept her fate. She has been a fugitive all of her life. Every group or organization she has been a part of has been scattered all because of her. Her hometown was destroyed in what is called a buster call, where the Navy just levels an entire island with cannon fire until nothing is left. And that's why she originally left quietly, especially when the crew got hurt and started splitting apart. But seeing them again together, free, united, risking their lives for her, she finally screams, "I want to live!" And that was all they needed to hear to raise hell for the world government in one of the biggest incidents in One Piece history.
Ooh, this is sounding good. I might have more interest in this than I thought.
Yeah, and it's what I want to say. I want to live instead of dying slowly, like not accomplishing my dreams. I want to live. I want to get to voice acting. I want to make good on my dream of, and I said this to Tom Kenny. It's kind of embarrassing, but I said, I look forward to working with you and I want to make that dream a reality. And started up very recently, got taking a voice acting class, and I'm getting closer. And they're showing me the steps I need to take to get to where I want to be at.
Damn. I didn't expect that coming. I honestly didn't expect that coming from you, but I'm proud of you for that. That's awesome.
Like, literally, bro, I told you One Piece was going to be like the biggest one out of this list. It's one of those shows that, like, especially if you like grow up with it, it hits you hard, and at different points in your life, it's just like, whoa.
I can imagine if you, especially going back and maybe rewatching it at different points of your life, and you discovering new things about the anime that you might not have seen with younger eyes. Like,
oh yeah, for sure.
Having experience and going through things, rewatching the anime and different parts coming up, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, holy crap, this appeals to me. No, I can completely understand where you're coming from. Because even like shows that I watched, back then, like they have different places in my heart now than they did back then. Like I noticed more as I got older. I started to see things more as I got older, and it's like, okay. And yeah, I totally understand that. And as far as your dreams go, like I'm sure I've explained this to you before. When it comes to a passion and a dream, you can't give up on it. You're gonna quit. for 20 times. Let me just tell you that right now. Sometimes it gets so fucking hard, you just want to give up. You just want to quit. But then you got to ask yourself, am I quitting because I literally don't want to do this anymore? Or am I quitting because it's just hard? And for me, because I've been at the same dream for God knows how many years already, but I was never able to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and I still can't. So it's just that frustration of, okay, like, when? Come on, like, something's got to break at some point. I've been chipping away at this thing. People said if you work hard, you'll achieve this, and blah, blah, blah. It's a pain in the ass. And then you got everyone in the fucking world telling you can't do it in some fashion or another. Sometimes it's not as blatant as you can't do this. Sometimes it's just people doubting, like, that's a really hard thing to get into, right?
Yeah. And it's honestly like one of the reasons I was not getting into it, just because I hear it's a very competitive field and all that. But listening to like my teachers, they need voices for like literally everything. It might be harder to get into certain places like animation and stuff like that. But
Sure.
Voice acting, I guess, is not as hard as you think. It's kind of a little bit expensive to get into. And I tallied all it up of what I need, and it's like $550 to get started, which honestly isn't that much when you think about it, but
No,
still it's a big sum for like a lot of people. For me right now, without a job, it definitely is a lot. And
well, it seems like a very daunting task right now, but
yeah,
eventually.
Yeah. Listening to these people, it's been eye-changing, and I'm glad to have them teaching me, and they had this great group. I think I really should shout them out. Let me find the name of this.
All right.
It's the Voice Acting Career Kickstart by want to get the name of them right. Elizabeth and Brady Hales. They have a free webinar that you can attend just to find out if this sounds like something you want to do. And they answer pretty much everything that they talk about in this course.
Yeah.
For the most part. There's still a little bit more. They go into more depth about it.
Right.
But like, if you wanted to just get started as a voice actor, just jump into the water, you could probably do that just by watching that free webinar. So if you are interested, I would say, like, at least check out the free webinar. You'll get some pointers on where to go next.
And see, the thing is, like I've always said, you have a very unique voice, and I mean that not in a bad way. It is a very good thing, actually, because look at a lot of look at Stan Lee, for instance. He had a very unique voice.
Oh, for sure.
It's so, like, when I say that, I'm not making fun of you or trying to belittle you. I mean that literally. You have a very unique voice that can be used for several different things, and if you can harness how to use it even better and learn how to change it slightly, that just adds more tools into your tool belt.
Yeah.
And when you look at a dream, like, people, I think what people miss all the time is when they go for a dream, I think they set unrealistic goals. It's not so much that, like, I want to do this for a living. Okay, that's great. Like, but I look at, like, I'll use myself as an example because that's the best example I have. When I was about 28, 29, I wanted to photograph for the World Wrestling Entertainment. I wanted to photograph for wrestling. I wanted to make it to WWE. I wanted to be beside the ring, photographing the wrestlers and doing all that stuff. 4 years of photographing for independent wrestling, I realized something. One, if I do this, I can discount every single thing that I want to do independently. For instance, I would shoot a show, go off, and then do a photo shoot with a friend, work on those photos, and then I'm getting heckled by the wrestlers that their photos aren't done yet. So if I'm going to do this for a professional company, my time is over. I will just be under their umbrella doing their stuff. Yep. All of my artwork goes bye-bye. That's not what I want. So I have to make a decision, and I chose to walk away. And it was a hell of a decision, let me tell you, because you go week to week to week, knowing what you're going to go do, and even making a little bit of money at it once in a while. I got paid. Not much, but I got paid. And if I sold prints, I got paid more. But I wasn't happy. I was so miserable doing it. I wanted out. I wanted to quit. It was too much drama. It was too much bullshit. I wanted out. My dream changed. And I remember taking a month off, didn't pick up my camera. And this is at the time, this was weird for me not to pick up my camera for a month. Now it's pretty standard. I need to get back to that bad, Anthony. But I took a month off, and someone called me up, and they asked me if I wanted a job photographing portraits for something. I won't get into what it was, but, you know. And I said, yeah, sure, because it was money. It was something to do. And then I met someone there, and they're like, hey, how would you like to come photograph for a goth club every week or every month? And I'm like, yeah, that sounds awesome. And then I started meeting people, connecting, making more connections, and I just eventually was like, okay, you know what? This is what I want to do. I want to do my shit. And then I kept on getting wrapped up in everyone else's crap. Even when I would go to the conventions and do the cosplay stuff, I thought this would be a way for me to network further with other people and maybe meet people that were of the same mindset. No, absolutely not. That was not how it went. That's not what happened.
Yeah.
Not to say that none of them, not to say that, I'm not saying that they were all bad. None of them, I'm not knocking on anybody, but they had their own thing and I had my own thing, and not all of them crossed over to each other. So then I left that, and now I'm kind of like, my situation right now is more so I need to get off my butt and get some exercise in and you know, take care of health things first before anything else. But also I need to give myself a kick in the butt to actually force myself to be taking photos and all that stuff, because 2020 happened. I had everything, you know, lined up, and that just derailed me completely. And it's been a journey to get back since. So, but in the meantime, I expanded on the other things I want to do. Hence why we're here, because this is something I was like, you know what? I don't want to just play video games. I love playing video games. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy making that kind of content, but I want to do something different. I want to explore further. It's like, okay, so what are my passions? Like, what do I have? What do I love talking about? Old timey shit. Great. There we go. There's the podcast.
And it's like I've been saying, you're like such a great storyteller.
Thank you.
Like, literally, like, favorite part of your streams isn't the video games. It's like when you are telling a story about something that happened to you.
Right. And see, that's kind of like what I wanted to do. Like, I wanted to find things. It's like, let me find something I can react to. Let me find something I could talk about. You know, let me bring back that old feeling of nostalgia for other people, but also let me bring that back for myself, because nowadays sucks. Like, things now, it's like, oh, we got the internet, and we got the TikTok, and we got the social medias and everything like that, and there's drama everywhere, and everyone's a fucking superstar now, and everyone's got to have their fucking moment in the sun and the spotlight and shit like that. And I'm just sitting here going, I just want to do shit that's gonna fucking help someone out. I just want to do something that's gonna make someone feel good. That's fucking it. I don't need any of the fucking credit. Even with my photography, all I wanted was the fucking photographs to get big and to make it somewhere, and people to hang them up in their house and go, you know what? This makes me feel good looking at this. This brings me some semblance of peace looking at this photograph. It brings me joy. I want nothing to do with that. I want none of the fucking credit. I don't fucking care. You know, like, I don't need I don't need to be in the spotlight. The only reason why I put myself in the spotlight is to get the other shit that I want to get out there. You know, like, being an entertainer, sure, yes, that's part of it, but I have no interest in it being me. Like, I am a superstar. I'm a big fucking deal. Dude, I know what it feels like to be a big fucking deal, and I'll be honest with you, I want no part of it. I'd rather hide behind the scenes, maybe once in a while poke my head out and go, hey, blah, 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 whoop, and then go back. Not because I'm afraid or anything like that, just because I don't want any of this extra stupid drama and everyone watching your every movement and being like, we're judging you by everything that you do. Fuck off. I don't give a shit.
That's why I want to become a voice actor, just because I did a acting class, and, like, everybody was good and everything, but there is a whole lot more pressure performing live than there is, like, voice acting. I think, like, even still, like, with with recorded stuff like movies, there is still more pressure just because you want to get the take right so everybody can move on to the next thing and you're not wasting their time. But sometimes you really need to take a whole bunch of takes just so you get it right.
Yeah. And see, I don't know if it's because I was acting in high school, but I don't like recorded stuff. I mean, I record my YouTube videos, but if you really sit down and listen to it, and I shouldn't be damning myself like this, but there's a big difference between when I'm recording a YouTube video versus when I'm doing stuff live. It doesn't matter that there's no one listening, or it doesn't matter there's no one in the chat. The fact that I'm live adds another level to everything, and I feel like I do a better performance. So when you said we should do this live, and I'm like, no, we should do it recorded. No, you were completely right. We should do this live because I do better like this. I've always done better like this. It's like, oh, take two, record, do this, blah, blah, blah. No, because that's too much pressure. I'd rather just do it live. And, it's like, if we mess up, we mess up. That's just the way it is. I'm sorry we're not perfect. My apologies. So, yeah. When it comes to following your dreams, you just got to keep at it. You got to keep doing it no matter what anyone thinks, including yourself. Because eventually, you're going to get away from people that dislike what you're doing, that have a negative inclination for what you're doing. You're going to get away from those people, and you're only going to be left with yourself. And that is there is the hardest battle. And that's kind of like where I'm at right now. I'm on like what I consider the final level, where it's me versus Shadow AC. And let me tell you, he's a bitch. Fighting yourself to get over yourself, to continue and keep pushing forward with your dream, even when you're like, I don't know if I'm even going to make it. I don't know if any of this is ever going to work out. Like, why should I even bother? Well, that's a bad attitude to have right there, first off, because you cannot control, number one, you can't control that. Number two, you're already damning yourself. You tell yourself you can't do it, you can't. You tell yourself you can do it, there's a very good chance you're going to some degree, to some level. If you're like, I want to voice act in a major motion picture, blah, blah, blah. Okay. You might get there, but isn't it more important that you're out there doing the voice acting and not being so specific of what you want to do? You say you want to do voice acting. Okay. There's a lot of stuff that involves voice acting. Will you make it to the big screen? Maybe. Is that important in the grand scheme of things? No. Like, am I ever going to be hanging in a major freaking art studio? Probably not. And that's not a knock at my talent or anything about myself, but you know what? I'm just not what fits into that category, and I'm okay with that. I actually don't want to be in that category.
Yeah, I really set myself up a crazy goal with wanting to work with Tom Kenny. That's for sure.
Well, it's not necessarily that crazy. I mean, there's been people I've wanted to work with, but I mean,
Well, with any luck, we'll get there.
Yeah. Hey man, you just got to keep pushing. You got to believe in yourself. You got to keep pushing, and don't let anything stop you.
Yeah.
You're gonna want, and I'm gonna tell you right now, you're gonna want to quit. You're gonna find a reason that you're gonna say, you know what, I should just give this up. It's too expensive. It's too hard. It's too this. It's too this. Don't listen to that. If this is what you truly, really want to do, then do it. If it's not what you truly, really want to do, then don't do it. That's as simple as that.
What's really helped, I think, is I finally have the family support for going into this, because before it was kind of I don't know, it's we might not work out or blah, blah, blah. But now I actually had support. When I told my mom about this, she said, yeah, you should go and try this out.
That's awesome. I'm really happy for you for that.
She's kind of been going through some stuff herself, reassessing her past with one of her doctors that she talks to. Yeah, it's been helping her to kind of thinking that you can't do something because you can.
I think it's also the fact that you're now older, she's now older, and she sees that you are a responsible adult, and you've always been a responsible adult. And at a certain point, you can only have taught your kids so much stuff. You could have only given them so much input. So when she sees you taking a passion for something that I have to say, I've never really seen you take a passion for something quite like this before. So when we see that in you, it makes us want to encourage that, because we've never seen it before. So this is obviously something different. This is something you've thought about. This is something you've thought about for years. Actually, you have been thinking about this for years because we were still going to the anime conventions when you went up and did your little trial run thing.
Oh yeah, that was rough.
By the way, I was in the audience trying to like coach you. I'm like this, do it like this. Come on, Eddie, you could do it.
Yeah, I saw that, and yeah, it was bad. The second time I've done it, I thought I did better, but what I kind of miffed was the ending when I had to do like kind of a power-up attack thing. I didn't want to go too big because, but that's the point. You need to go big.
Exactly.
But yeah.
Exactly.
But maybe next time I go to Ace and I'll try it out again. Like, I think really, honestly, that's the only thing that I'm really interested in going there besides like maybe some of those videos that people make.
I honestly think at this point you're above that.
Yeah.
You are now because you are now learning what you need to do. You are learning what tools you need. And honestly, you don't need to go to an anime convention just to go talk in front of a bunch of people, which is basically karaoke. You're beyond that. All right.
Well, I wouldn't say that I'm beyond that because I could still go there to get an audition for anime, and like it could be a good place to get into that industry since it's kind of hard to get into that industry unless you're in LA. So it's still a good place to start.
Okay, that's fair. What I would do before doing that is definitely talk to teachers and other people that are in the industry and soak up as much information as you can. Be a sponge.
Yeah, I want to definitely see a coach before I start getting into the industry just because I want to kind of flesh out my abilities a little bit more. I think I would benefit from that.
Well, more than just a coach, because you're going to find people that are going to have different levels of experience that are within in your sphere. You're going to find people that have experience doing this, and this, and all of them are going to be able to give you some form of information. There's going to be some information you're going to be able to take from each one of them. Like when I went to college for fiction writing, that was something I did. I ate up as much information as I possibly could, then realized that, getting published and doing all this other crap was a pain in my ass. So I just was like, you know what, forget it. I'll write the novel someday, but actually now it's a lot easier to get published. It's self-published. It's a lot cheaper. So I might be better off. But even when I got into photography, like I would look for inspiration everywhere. I would talk to anyone that would give me information and how to do stuff and, what to do and all that junk. And I still do it. Like I still even if it doesn't apply to me or appeal to me, I still listen just because I'm like, okay, this is what I know I don't want to do or how I don't want to do it this way. So that only leaves how I want to do things or how it should go and all that stuff. So yeah, before you go doing all that, absorb from the people around you.
Oh, believe me, I have been doing that. I've listened to stuff like, Pro ZD.
No.
Oh, he does a lot of those like funny Vine videos. He's the Asian guy, and he has glasses. If if I show you a picture, you will know him. But anywho, he's a voice actor, and I've been watching his videos and stuff he is in. Like sometimes he goes on podcasts. I listen to him talk about the industry and other voice actors talk about the industry. It's been pretty informative, and I learn a little bit each time.
You're not talking about the emotional damage guy, are you?
No, that's Stephen He.
Okay, funny.
I'm trying to think of like one of his most famous videos. Let me just pull up Pro ZD and send you a video. Let's see what
now. Okay. Pretty sure I've seen some of this guy's stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, he's just a really cool dude in general.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
likes a lot of the stuff we do.
Yeah, like I said, watch, listen, anything you can absorb on the topic, absorb it because you'll need it.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so wow, One Piece really went deep.
Yeah.
Holy crap!
It's a good thing that I don't have as much for my next two.
Yeah, same. All right, well, I guess it's my turn. Alrighty then. So, Vampire Princess Miyu. Alright, this is an anime that will always hold a special place in my heart. The premise is pretty simple. Miyu is a vampire girl that acts as a guardian, sending stray demons known as Shinma back to the darkness. During the day, she poses as a high school student. She is not affected by sunlight or any of the traditional vampire stuff. However, she does need to drink blood to survive. But she chooses people whom have suffered a tragic loss and offers them their greatest wish to be with their lost loved ones, at least in their dreams, in exchange for their blood. The people live in an endless dream state forever, which is actually pretty dark, because I totally forgot about that part about the anime, and I'm like, oh god, oh, I forgot about that. That is dark. Her companion is a masked and hooded figure named Larva or Lava, depending on how they pronounce it in the translation, because I've heard both. In the TV show, it's Lava. In the OVAs, it's Larva. So I'm just going to say Lava, because it's easier. Lava acts as sort of a guardian for Miyu, bound to her by a blood oath. He helps battle the Shinma alongside Miyu. From episode to episode, it's mostly a monster of the week kind of formula. It has a dark tone to it, but not overly dark like some of the other horror animes. Is this one of my favorites? Kinda, sorta. Where the anime really holds a special place in my heart, it was the first anime that I found on my own. What I mean by that is, after being exposed to what anime is, and now knowing this was a genre all its own, this is the first anime I found in a store, looked at it and thought, and through no outside influences, picked it up, watched it, and watched the whole series. You see, back in the early 2000s, anime wasn't so readily available like it is now. You had one singular shelf dedicated to anime at a Best Buy or video store. If it didn't appear on TV, there is very few ways to know about a show without being involved in an anime community. Your options were underground tape trading, downloading limited episodes from the internet's high seas, or paying for the first DVD and hoping you enjoyed the show. The last option is what I did, since all their options were kind of outside my realm of reality. Not to mention the fact that I watch anime dubbed and not subtitled, so everything that I could find on the internet was always subtitled. You can, hate me in the comments if you want to. I really don't care. That's the way I watch my anime, and that's all there is to it. After buying the first disc and very much enjoying the show, I went out and bought the whole series. I later regretfully sold the series off, and now wishing I hadn't, because I'd love to go back and rewatch it all again. The monsters were always creative and different to the ones I'm familiar with in Western shows, so I never really knew what to expect, whereas in a Western show like Supernatural, the monsters were all very familiar and semi knew what you were in for. This isn't really a show I'd recommend to just anyone, not because I don't think it's not good, but it's certainly different and has its own pacing that some might consider slow. Whereas I truly enjoy the almost gothic tempo of it, the rinse and repeat nature of every episode can also be something that people wouldn't get into. Whereas if you look at the shows I grew up with, I'm kind of used to it at this point. And also I'd be saying the lines along with Miyu, into the darkness Shima, when she'd banish a demon. Around mid-season, the episodes did play with the formula a bit and give Shinmas that would give Miyu and Lava bigger problems, so the plot would continue for multiple episodes. In the late episodes, they introduced more story relating to Lava and Miyu's relationship, history, etc. And luckily, I don't remember any of these plot lines, so I can't spoil them for anyone who might want to check this anime out. But truly, this is one that holds a special place in my heart and always will.
Yeah, you won't have to worry about not being able to find it, because I got the series because I heard you liked it so much to watch it for myself, and it's pretty much everything you said. Definitely, there are some episodes where it's like pretty crazy. Like there's this one episode, I guess, where a guy kind of gets trapped in film, and that was pretty insane.
I think I remember that one.
But yeah, we can definitely watch it at some point if you want. Or I can lend you the DVDs on your own time.
Either one works. See, I'm really disappointed because back in the day, they used to sell the anime cells at anime conventions, and I never actually picked one up. So I'm kind of mad at myself that I never picked one up like this. I think because I was always looking for Slayers or some other anime, I didn't think to look for the more obscure ones that I liked. So yeah, I do have a portrait of Miyu downstairs somewhere that someone drew that I picked up, and I still have it. It got a little bit of water damage, but it's not too bad. But yeah, that was this was the first anime I found on my own, so I'm always gonna love it.
Yeah.
And again, it just has that horror gothic tone to it. I just love it. It's not overly flashy or anything like that. It's just, and again, like with the creatures, you not knowing like what they're gonna be. Like there was one that was like doll related and mannequin related and shit like that. I was like, God, this is so good.
African mask.
Yeah, you just never knew what they were gonna be. Where over here, we pretty much stick to werewolf, vampire, yeti, zombie, something of the sort. So you kind of already know what you're in for. But like when you don't have any clue what these creatures are, it makes it that much scarier. So,
Yeah.
anyway, and back to you, sir.
All right. So my next one is Sherlock Hound, and it's pretty much like it sounds. It's Sherlock Holmes if they were all anthropomorphic dogs. It was made in partnership by a Japanese studio, Tokyo Movie Shinsa, and an Italian TV company called Rai. Hayao Miyazaki even worked on it for 6 episodes until some problems with Sir Conan Doyle's estate came up, but by the time they were resolved, he had moved on to other projects. But even still, you can still tell just by the quality of the animation and music that it left its impact on the show. It's all original stories as far as I can tell, and I think that's probably one of its strengths. You have all the main characters still, like Holmes as Sherlock Hound, Dr. Watson, and Moriarty, but it also has a lot of other good characters, the minions of Moriarty, who are the typical bumbling accomplices, the chief of Scotland Yard, a bulldog who is always getting upset with Hound butting into their business and showing them up. And then the best of all, I have to go with Mrs. Hudson. She is just a complete angel who takes care of everyone, even the villains. But she's not just a dainty maid. She used to be the wife of an airplane pilot until an accident happened. In my favorite episode, a plane crashes nearby and Mrs. Hudson rushes to free the pilot by using an axe to get the pilot to safety before the plane blows up. And when she finds out that Moriarty was messing with the pilots, she shows little mercy shooting at his plane to bring it down. And with a little help from Hound and Watson, she saves the day. And that's why Mrs. Hudson is my top anime waifu. Oh, and watch Sherlock Hound, it's good. Like I said, there's just a whole bunch of good characters in the show. Like, they have an episode where Hound catches this pickpocket girl and, helps find her a nice family to live with. Mm-hmm. There's even an episode where these 2 brothers are searching for this treasure and, they end up just blowing each other's ships apart. It's, so comical.
This definitely looks like something a furry would watch.
Yeah.
No, actually, it doesn't look that bad. This would be something I would probably check out.
And the reason why I say Mrs. Hudson is my top anime waifu is because she just takes care of everyone. She is there for them. Even the villains. She gets kidnapped by the villains. Moriarty and his accomplices. You can see them there up in the right-hand corner. Mm-hmm. And she just sees what a deplorable state they are in. And instead of just being a regular hostage, she cleans up the place for them. Oh, she makes them kidney pie. And they are crying because they have not known such kindness. And they just give her back because she has just been so nice to them.
Oh, wow. Huh. I know I've seen this around. I've seen the DVD covers and stuff like that, but never actually watched the show. I'm oh, it's a dog Sherlock Holmes. Okay, great. It's
one of Miyazaki's lesser-known masterpieces.
Now, this is a series?
Yes.
Okay. Interesting.
I love it.
Okay.
It's a really good show. Definitely check it out, guys.
Okay. Oh, I did have one question for you going back to One Piece really quick.
Uh-huh.
What is your opinion of the live-action version?
Now, the live-action one?
Mm-hmm.
I really like it a lot. I think that is probably the perfect gateway to get a normie into the show. Literally, there's one of the leaders at the boys group at my church, and he talks to me about One Piece, and I'm like, wow, it's gotten that big. That's absolutely crazy that he watched it. It might be a little bit more problematic down the line, but I guess we get there when we get there.
So is the live action One Piece like the show, or?
It is like the show. However, there are some parts that are just because of the nature of the TV show, they're trying to go through it. It's a little bit rushed at some points, and they kind of changed up a little bit of Usopp's story to where it's not as making Usopp as compelling of a character as he was in the anime, where he was really helping with keeping Captain Kuro, the antagonist of that arc, from messing with Aya and the One Piece crew. But all in all, I think it was good for what it was, and like I honestly don't have that many big complaints about it because I don't remember them. And if I think there was something bad, I remember them.
Okay, so what you're telling me is it's not Death Note, the live action series.
I've not seen that, so I cannot comment.
Oh, you don't want to. I tried.
It's not Dragon Ball Z the movie.
Oh my god. Actually, I think I'd rather watch Dragon Ball Z the movie than watch Death Note, the Netflix special. Now, I did try to defend the Death Note Netflix special for a limited time because the reason why I think the Netflix Death Note did not do well is because they tried to use the same characters and retell that they use Light, L, and Misa.
Uh-huh.
No, because they were nothing like the characters in the freaking anime or the manga, which I read all the way through, by the way. If they would have taken a different story and told a different story of Death Note, I don't think the weeaboos would have had so much of a problem with it. Then again, that ending was so stupidly convoluted, I had to rewind it and watched it 3 times and still didn't know what the hell happened. I'm like, wait, so you did... No. But if you watch the Japanese live action, so good. So good. In fact, you watch the Japanese live action of Death Note and you watch the dub version, a lot of the voice actors from the anime are in that are in the dub version.
Okay.
It is a very good one. The only good thing about the Netflix version was Willem Dafoe was Ryuk.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I would always like to point out that my favorite character in that series was the one that ended up winning. You're welcome. Because it was Ryuk. Ryuk was my favorite character out of all of that series. And he won. And I was so proud of him for that. All right. Well, this brings us to our last anime for both of us. And ironically, we have the same one. And it's Slayers.
Yeah.
Because Slayers is just the greatest anime ever written. That's just how it is, guys. Hate to tell you that, but, that's just what it is. It's Slayers.
Yeah, just peak anime right there.
Yep. So, I'm gonna start on this one because when I watched it, I was a young lad, and I was the one that introduced it to Eddie. So I figure I might as well tell the backstory first, and then I'll send it over to Eddie for his take.
Yeah.
All right. So my very first anime, and one that will forever be my favorite of all time, Slayers. I have so many memories with this anime and its characters, but let me start from the beginning. 15 to 16-year-old AC had a couple of older friends, Andy and Jeanette. Shout out to Andy and Jeanette if you're listening out there. Thank you guys for this. And they were both in an anime. Now, when I say older friends, they were like 23 and I was like 15. So I don't mean like older, like old people. I had a very vague idea of what anime was at the time, and the only examples I knew of were all weird, strange cartoons from Japan. Well, one day while hanging out, I was handed a VHS tape. You remember those? And Andy and Jeanette instructed me to watch it, explaining that it was a show called Slayers, a fantasy adventure with swords and sorcery. I'm sure Andy gave me a whole rundown of the full plot at the time, but he talked so fast and excited and said a bunch of stuff that didn't make any sense, I couldn't keep up. As a final summary, he told me, watch this until you get to the episode with Nunsa the Fishman. If you aren't enjoying it by that point, just stop because you probably won't get into it after that. Nunsa? Fishman? What the hell kind of cartoon are y'all having me watch? So I took the tape home having very little confidence that I'd ever get into this show. I put the tape off to the side for a bit, avoiding putting it in the VCR, being sure that I wasn't going to like it. Also, they didn't tell me how long into the series Nunsa was, so how much of this was I going to have to stomach before this legendary fishman would come into the story. Knowing that my friends would eventually ask me about it, bored and needing something to watch while writing on my computer, I decided, well, might as well put this on in the background noise so we can get through this. The first episode started off with bandits whom had just made a huge steal of gold, jewels, etc. All right, not so bad. And then, with a big explosion, I'm introduced to one of, if not the main character of the show, Lena Inverse, a quick-witted, sassy little sorceress that dispatched of the bandits with her fireball magic spells. All right, not so bad so far, but still, my stubborn young self wasn't too impressed. Eventually, Lena meets another of the main characters named Gowry. Gowry is a nitwitted swordsman. Pretty much all his brains are in his biceps. By this time, I had turned back to my computer and continued writing, still paying attention and glancing over at the TV once in a while. And then I heard Gallery say something I've never heard in an American cartoon before. I thought I was saving a hot babe. Turns out it was just a flat-chested little girl. If I was drinking something at the time, it was spat out in sheer surprise and shock laughter. This got my full attention on watching the anime, leaving my computer behind, now sitting on the floor in front of the TV. Everything about this anime drew me in, from the over-the-top humor and slapstick comedy to the sorcery, magic, and the lore and the legends within this world. I could truly go on forever about it, but I'm going to throw it over to Eddie and let him continue.
It's pretty much like he says, you get to Nunsa and you are definitely in. I feel like probably you will be in there much before that, because like honestly, it's just there's just so much good stuff in there. The chemistry between Lena and Gowry is great. They're both fighting and bickering all the time, but they have their moments between them. Like pretty much they're yelling about Lena needing to hurry to catch up, and then finally, he notices her clutching her side, and he sees that she's been wounded, and he's like, what? You didn't tell me that you were hurt. All this time I've been, like, telling you to hurry up, and you were hurt. And then he just picks her up and carries her princess style, and she's arguing about it. No, I'm carrying you, and you're just going to have to live with it.
And then she's very taken back by the fact that he's doing this because this isn't normal. Like,
oh, yeah. She is hecka embarrassed.
But also that she's impressed that he's doing this because no one else has been like this to her. He's showing her chivalry and all that stuff. It turns out that she's on her time of the month. That was another part about it. It was like all of a sudden, oh, it's that time of the month. How does someone with the brains of a jellyfish know about that time of the month?
Okay, now for people who will not understand this, in this world, pretty much like sorceresses lose all of their magical power when it's that time of the month.
Yeah.
And Gowry explains to Lena that the local sorceress, who was the fortune teller, closed up shop because it was that time of the month. And he asks her what that time of the month means.
I also have to bring up the fact that this also had one of the greatest intros of all time. So
yeah,
hold on. I got to cue it up, and I'm going to play it really quick because I gotta.
There you go. And like the lyrics for it too are like just pretty much describing like Lena to a T, pretty much. Mm-hmm. Don't get in her way. But yeah, we got Anthony's favorite character coming up.
Here comes. On the way.
There's Anthony's favorite character.
Voiced by the amazing Crispin Freeman, who I met, and he has signed my Zelgadis playing card.
Also a very cool voice actor.
Yes. He did the voice for Alucard from Hellsing. Several different people. Oh my god, it's just... Every time I hear that theme song, it just gets me so jacked. It's just so good. Yeah. Anyways, go on with the rest of it.
Yeah, just like perfect theme song for it. Love it. Like I said, I just think that the lyrics, like, kind of, it's like a very adventurous sorceress. I blow stuff away, and yeah, it's just really good. Where were we at before that? I think we were talking about Gowry and Lena and their kind of dynamic.
Yeah, so basically, Lena and Gowry have this dynamic where Gowry has vowed to be Lena's protector, and he will not leave her side ever. He's so willing to just give up everything and just be by her side, to be her guardian and to be her protector. He doesn't even think about that this is going to be forever, and like what that all means and entails, and nudge, nudge, wink, wink, hello. So their relationship isn't really defined until the end. When
Of season 2, at least.
arguably even later. Oh yeah, because season 2, she almost loses him.
Yeah.
Oh no, he almost loses her.
No, it was the other way around. Well, it might have been both, but like
Well,
I'm
because when
talking
she-
about Fabrizzo.
Yeah, when she becomes the darkness, basically.
Oh, right. He has to yell to
Yeah,
get her
then
back.
he goes chasing after her and won't let her go. And then you're right, there is another part where he gets taken and she's so worried about him. And everyone keeps giving them shit that they like each other, but she won't hear about it because, she's Lena Inverse. She's just a reckless...
She doesn't need anybody.
Yeah, she's a reckless badass. She doesn't think about that kind of stuff. She's like, no, he's just my protector. Everything's fine and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay.
I just keep him around because he's handy in a fight.
Yeah, and she wants the Sword of Light, which
Yeah.
is what Gallery...
That's the main excuse, yeah.
Yeah, that she wants, because Gallery has a sword, takes the blade out, and then all of a sudden he has a magical Sword of Light because he's the descendant of the original Swordsman of Light, which is a character in the lore. And that's kind of like what I was talking about. They have this whole lore that goes along with everything that fits into this world, from demons to gods to demigods and everything. It's just, oh my god, I want to watch this anime again so badly. It's so good.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
I think like my favorite part is like the original reveal for the Sword of Light, where they're like fighting that demon and he's got Lena and Gowry on the ropes until suddenly he takes a little needle and uses it to pop the sword from the sheath.
Shaberdingdo.
Or not the sheath, pop the sword from
The hilt.
the hilt. And Lena and the demon are freaking out of how ridiculous this looks.
They're like, what the hell are you
And
doing?
like, do you think you can beat me with just a hilt? And it's like, oh no, I couldn't do that. And then it's just, you hear him yell, light come forth! And then he just slices that demon in half.
Demon's like, oh shit. He's like, wait, what?
Oh
Where'd
my
you get
gosh.
that thing?
Just so good.
Yeah. That one, there's a reason why it's my favorite, just because there's so many freaking layers to it. It does let the serious moments be serious, but when it's comedic, it's funny as hell. And even they throw a little bit of humor in during the serious scenes, because there's one where they're pretty much all pinned down and at the mercy of Rezo the Red Priest when he binds with the Dark Demon Lord guy.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all pinned down, and you have the justice obsessed character Amelia talking about how we can't give up, and Zelgatus is the mystical swordsman, mysterious mystical swordsman is like, that's right, just make a fist and say, all right, let's go get him. Is that what you want? You're giving up. Well, we really don't have that many options. So
But then Lena finally gets back up from being hurt and
Yeah.
figures it out.
Right. So yeah, like I said, it's just it's such a good series, and it's so underappreciated and undervalued. I don't run into many people that have ever watched it, and then when I try to get new people to watch it, they're like, "Oh, that's an old anime." I'm like, and compared to what's going on right now, new anime
Now,
sucks.
People, if you have not taken anything else this night, watch Slayers. It's just really good. I don't have as much to say about it as One Piece, but honestly, this is a show that I can go back to watch time and time again, and I never get tired of it.
I was trying to find that one scene because I thought it was just that one scene, but I can't find it now. But there's a part.
What's that scene?
Okay, so when they said, like, the Newts of the Fish episode, well, there's a part where Lena basically fries Nunsa, because Nunsa, let me find a picture. Nunsa is literally a fishman. Is it literally in a fishman in the sense of he is all fish with legs and hands.
Yep. Humanoid legs and arms, by the way.
Yes. So here is Nunsa.
Here he is.
Yeah. So he's a fishman, and here he is with Lena in his mouth. So yeah, Lena deep fries Nunsa, and there's a bunch of bad guys that are animals, and of course, the fish is fried, so they might as well eat it. So behind the bad guy's back, the henchmen are eating the fish, and then they turn, and he's like, oh, "You ate Nunsa!"
That
You
was
ate
so
them
good.
all up.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
here he
it
is.
was
There he
so
is,
good.
fried right there.
Yep.
He also sticks Lena in his mouth. I don't know why, but he sticks Lena in his mouth. But if you're into swords and sorcery, medieval type stuff, magic, and all that stuff, this is the anime to watch, because a lot of animes that are like this, that are of that genre, are either way too damn serious or they're way too damn serious.
And this is like a great satirical expression of that genre.
Yeah, it has enough humor in it, but it's not overly in your face, like where it's constantly being stupid and goofy. It has those moments where it slows itself down, takes itself a little serious, and explains everything, and it's not confusing. Where, like, for another example, Record of the Lotus War, I couldn't tell you what the plot was, and I've watched the whole series. The only thing I remember from the anime was pop up parn, and that was from the freaking little chibi vignettes in the middle of the episode, at the end of the episode.
Yeah. Yeah, I watched like the original one, and like you were talking about that, and I had no idea what you were talking about. Turns out there's like two different versions, but I just could not bring myself to watch your version just because the voice actors changed, and I'm just like, oh, this just is not working for me now.
Funny enough, Crispin Freeman's in that one too.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's in that one. Yeah, Record of the Lotus War, I would probably appreciate it more now, but it's just so slow, and it's just, yeah, I don't know. This to me was more my pace. You'll be laughing so hard at certain points, it's ridiculous. And there was originally 3 seasons, and those are the ones I had Eddie watch, and then
I told him there were 2 more seasons.
Yeah, then they got the crew back together and they came out with 2 more seasons, which I actually have to buy those and rewatch them because I remember not a lot from those at all. I honestly don't think they were even needed, if I'm being honest.
Oh, and by the way,
Yeah.
for everybody, I know Slayers is good and all, but do yourself a favor, and if you're going to watch any of the OVAs, only watch Slayers Premium. The rest are terrible, and there's this character named Naga, and she is super obnoxious. I was like, no, I've got to see it for myself. I watched all of them.
Oh, Naga is amazing. Don't even try. Naga is amazing.
I mean, she is, but
hold on, I gotta
yeah.
I gotta save it so I can put them on the screen here. Now, Naga, she does make an appearance in the anime, be it that it's only very, very small. It's like her bottom half appears in a scene, and you see Lena reacting to it, like, wait, what was that? But what was funny, it's where he's getting the Naga is her laugh. She has a very, very distinct laugh, and she
laughs a lot.
Yes, she does, and for a very long period of time, and it is torture. What's even funnier is my friend Jeanette used to be able to do that laugh, and whenever I was goofing off too much, she would threaten me with the Naga laugh. So then I would quickly comply. Oh yes, but Naga's amazing. Naga is amazing.
Yeah, she's a fun character.
Oh yes,
and like
she's very. She is so fun.
For audio listeners, he is zooming in a place where it's not particularly well. You just should not be zooming there.
It's amazing. She's a great character. Actually, what's even funnier is
she looks like a lot of the swords and sorcery characters that you see, the stereotypical ones.
Her endowments are her downfall at one point because they're trying to edge along this very small cliff, and she's facing the cliff, and all of a sudden, boing, and she flies off the cliff.
But getting more serious, I feel like she's like kind of a good rival for Lena.
Oh yes, she can
like
rival me
they're
anytime.
always kind of fighting for like the same sort of treasure or whatever's going on in the OVA. I just say, save yourself the trouble, read the manga with them because those are better and you don't have to hear the laugh.
Oh,
no. Or
no.
just watch one of them, but don't feel like you have to watch all of those.
I'm now trying to see if I can find the laugh because it is something to behold.
Yeah, for sure.
Wait.
That's it.
Yeah, but it goes on for a very long period of time. There's even like parts where she's... Oh, here we go. Here we go. Found it. This is the perfect example. Because there's multiple Nagas.
I have forgotten this episode. Oh my gosh. Now I kind of just want to know why that has happened.
Why are they taking off their pants?
I mean, you see a horde of Nagas coming after you.
I mean, I know what I would be doing, but it's not the kind of anime I thought. Oh, they're gonna go jump in the water. I get it now.
Okay, we read
Never
their
mind.
intentions wrong.
I was thinking about what I would be doing.
But honestly, that's the correct response. You get away as far as you can from Naga.
It's torture. It's literally torture.
It has not stopped.
No.
My ears are bleeding.
Oh my god, it's brilliant. It's just so good. Yeah, but she's not in the normal anime. She's not in the normal anime. She's only in the OVAs, so you don't have to worry about the laugh. That does not exist in the anime. It's fine. Even though I think they should have at least put her in there for an episode or two, but you know, hey.
Oh yes, it is. In the fifth one, in the fifth season, you hear it at least once.
Okay, yeah. That's why I don't remember it.
Yeah, it was because she wasn't technically physically there, but for some reason her soul was kind of bound to a suit of armor.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. And then the suit. Yeah, I remember that now. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, Naga, unfortunately, was not physically in the actual anime. Darn it. Oh my god.
That's been a doozy of an episode, that's for sure.
So, that's going to do it for this episode of Pigeon Cast. If you guys are watching this on YouTube or Rumble, be sure you guys give it a like and subscribe for more. We're going to be having more videos coming out on this channel.
And tell us what you think is your top 5 anime.
Yeah, let us know down in the comments your top 5 anime. You don't got to give it a long description like we did. You can just give a list, and that's more than fine. We'll be back again with another episode very, very soon. But for now, I'm AC.
And I am Eddie.
And we will see you guys in the next one. Everyone have an amazing day, night, wherever you are in the world. And we'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.
Goodbye.
Don't wanna hold